Hello guys, my name is JP. Welcome back to Kerbal Space Program. Today we are going to follow up with some more of the Hyperspace capabilities. I'm not really showcasing the mod, I'm just using it, so we're just going to continue like that. Today I'm going to show you the craft I use to deploy the Hyperspace endpoints. Because it's a usable little design. It works. So let's just load it up. I have it called the Hyperjump Endpoint Deployment Craft. So it just rolls off the tongue. So let's load it up, and I can show you how it works. It works the same as, I don't know if anybody knows the probe mechanics of Kerbal Space Program, where if you have a ship with secondary little robotic control modules, if you separate from the control modules, it counts whatever part was attached to the probe, the robotic part, as a probe, meaning a separate ship. You can actually separate into separate ships, which is what I've done here. The upper part is capable of it has a hyperjump engine, so it can deploy its own endpoint with using this entire back end as the endpoint, because it has the docking ports and stuff. It can separate, deploy the endpoint, and then use the endpoint attached to this to jump back to Kerbin. So I can go anywhere in the Kerbal system as far as I want and still have a way back instantly. So I want to go ahead and put one of these on escape orbit, by which I mean orbit around the sun, because I like having that capability. I'm shortcutting my way to the rest of the solar system, if you will. Right now I have a shortcut to the moon. I have a shortcut into regular orbit. I don't have a shortcut to Minmus, but I guess I could just use the Kerbin station as that. Pretty easy. So I want a shortcut to the rest of the solar system, so we're going to go ahead and put one of these up here. And hopefully it works, because you saw the problem with the moon one, where it would... I don't know how to explain that, where it would... I don't know, like impact it. It suddenly has no velocity and it started crashing. I don't think that'll be a problem with a deep space one. Alright, so we have Bill. We can go ahead and use the... I don't know. Let's use the hyperjump station, the main one. No, those aren't powerful enough to get off the ground, so we definitely have to use the main thrusters. The solid rocket booster thrusters. Let's see, everything's good, so let's get up in the air. RCS stabilization. Once the engine cuts out, I go ahead and activate the tunnel jump. I probably need to put some kind of smaller engine for this, because it's a waste right now. It gets me 5,000 meters up in the air for no reason at all. Alright, we can dump those and activate the jump. Alrighty, we're up here. Let's get this thing lined up to go on a far orbit. We want to do it at the periapsis, so we just missed it. Add maneuver, and we want this to go out. Doesn't need to be so dramatic though, so because the more I increase that, the more power it's going to take to do it. So right there at the edge of it is perfect. Kerbin escape. That'll do. You can go ahead and relock the drive. Hide that. Let's get this thing lined up where it needs to be, and we can fast forward. Because I don't think you want to wait 30 minutes here with me, although these are usually 30-minute episodes to begin with. Alright, and if you're wondering, I do not use solar power because it sucks. Half the time you're behind Kerbin and you have no power. And batteries are heavy. So it's easier just to put a couple of these things on it. I put 4. So let's stage these up with this. Engage them so we can be ready for it. Have this thing lined up as close as possible, and let's fast forward. Now that we know how much power it takes, or at least where we're going, or the right angle, it doesn't really matter if I mess up the node. But we'll do it right here at about oh, I jumped that. Overshot that. Okay. I know we can burn for at least a minute and a half, so that'll be good. At the very worst, I can add these things to it. The little boosters there. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Are they burning? They burn? There we go. It'll buy us some extra time. Because it doesn't need those for... Oh yeah, it does. Damn. Okay, he's gonna have a problem getting back down to the ground. Although at least we can get him back into orbit. I forgot, those are for the deorbit burn, for getting him back down to the ground. So we kind of stranded him in space, but he'll be alright. Let's see where we are. We're getting there. Whoa, it almost... Wow, it intersected the moon there for a second. Alrighty, and we've got it. We have an escape orbit. Let's get a look at it. Yep, it's a decent orbit. A little outside, but that's fine. Because then from there, you can just adjust your orbit in or out on the periapsis and apoapsis to go to other planets. Although you're not getting to Elu anytime soon with that, because that's on a different plane altogether, too. So that one's a complicated one, but we're out. From here, assuming it doesn't delete my damn endpoint, again, we can... I'm going to flip this around to hopefully give this guy a little bit of a chance. I can go ahead and delete that maneuver because that's going to get on my nerves. Righty. And we'll keep those engines. Yeah, if I put them up here, it'll separate this first and we'll keep those engines, I think. So let's do that. Yeah, okay, yeah, I kept the engines. Alrighty, let's see what's up here. This can go hyper jump. See, this is where I needed the little thrusters. That's what they were for. Like this, I could hyper jump back to the station, and it would be a simple matter from there. First, before we take off, let's switch to this one and rename it so I don't get confused. Rename vessel. That'll be a station because that's technically what it is. Hyperspace DS EP. Oh, why'd the hyper... I always do that. Hyperspace Deep Space Endpoint is what I'm calling it. It's too long, so just stuff it all in there. Alright, and this thing is good. It has power, it has its own RCS, it has its own fuel. This thing's good to go until the end of time. And this guy, this poor bastard, let's see what we're going to do with him. We can get him back to the station, but that's about it. Activate local jump? Where is it? Let's just do it. Be fine. And local jumped. Okay, we're back in orbit. We're back in normal orbit. And this thing is still headed out. Yep. That's gone. Well, I don't know if it's gone. Now it's saying it's not. So maybe I should switch to it again and see. Switch to it. Yeah, let's just make sure. Because if it's not, I can still fix it, because it has its own fuel source. Yeah, it's gone. I don't know why the other thing's saying it's not. Let's switch back. We don't want the station, we want the deployment craft. Oh, we can switch to that one and... Nope, not set as target. Unset target. We can switch to there and hopefully it'll be close enough to... Yeah, this is the station. This is what the station looks like. Not much of a station. More of a big floaty thing with some stuff on it. Okay, we can't deorbit him. That's for sure. But we can just kind of leave him up here. And he's got a hyperspace engine. So technically he can go anywhere in the world. But for now he's just locked in orbit with the jump station. Damn it, I shouldn't have used the solid rocket boosters. I don't know why I did that. Because now he's just stuck up here. I can't deorbit him, and it goes up at like 160,000, so there's no possible way I can, like, gravity or, arrow brake him, because it doesn't go anywhere near low enough. I know if I go back to the Space Center, I think it gives me the option of recovering it. So let's see if we can do that. Let's go to the tracking station. I don't know if it'll let me recover him from space though, so let's find out. Deployment craft. No, he's stuck up there. The only way to get rid of him is to kill him. That sucks. That one's good. Lunar rover. Oh my god, that thing's still going. It's probably dead. I could probably just leave it there. It's kind of a monument. The station is still derpy. I have to fix that eventually. It's coming in really low. I don't like that. But it is stable. It's not wavering. The jump base is right here. And the station is in orbit. Not quite the other side of the planet. So this guy, Bill Kerman, is stuck out there. Which kind of sucks. And I have no way to recover him. I mean, I could... Well... No, that's not safe. I've been working on that, but that's not safe. It didn't work. I don't know if I did it on this one either. Because I play it at work. Kerbal Space Program, just a little bit. Mostly to test stuff I want to do for the Let's Play. And let me see if it's on here. I don't think it's on here. I think it's at work. Hyperjump shuttle. Oh, it is on here. Hyperspace cruise ship. Ooh, we might have a chance to save him. Depending on where it places us. Because I've been working on this. This is a heavy cruise ship. Purposely for those kind of rescue missions. It can dock. It has its own drive. And this middle section separates. The whole thing separates into pieces with individual parachutes. So I can load up, what, like, how many does this thing hold? I can load up 7 Kerbals into this ship and return them all safely. In theory, because it does not work, as far as I could tell when I tested it. So we'll probably go ahead and test that now, because if we can get it to work, that'll do it. We only want the one crew, though. One person. So we'll probably just take Bob. See, because we can fit 4 in the container and 3 in the command module. But from what I could tell, the container didn't work properly. It picks it up as debris once it's separated by itself. So I might have to put like a probe on it or something, just to keep it persistent in the game. But this should work for now. So if I can just get close enough, I can EVA him, and he can get in here, and they can return home. So let's... Oh, this is not going to end well. Let's try it. It's a simple matter. It's just get it up in the air, hyper jump to the station. And I've had this experience before. When I've hyper jumped to the station with multiple craft, they tend to bunch up, like very, very close. And this thing is capable of maneuvering, as you saw. It has a lot of RCS and fuel and everything. So it can move around, it's no problem. But we definitely want... there we go. Try to move this thing. We definitely want to bring him home. Let's get everything ready. And go. Has a little bit of wobble on the liftoff, but it's no big deal. Like I said, this liftoff is just to get it up there. Honestly, don't know why I keep doing this. I keep putting way too much solid rocket on it. Dump them. Hyperspace jump. Right, let's see how close we get to it. Is that it? Oh yeah, we are so super close. Okay, let's... I don't even want to try it. I'm afraid to try it. We have it targeted. It's getting closer. So we should probably switch to that one. Oh, I forgot to put lights on this damn thing. Okay, that's gonna make it harder. Okay, we'll switch to there. And that thing's right there. We want the crew... No, wrong one. Okay, we want the cruise ship. We are closing in on it. So I'm going to attempt the impossible in the dark, no less. Oh god, we're gonna lose this guy. Oh, he can't get out of this one. Damn it. Okay, yeah, he's completely trapped. I could bump him with the other ship. I mean, because if I get in close enough, I can kind of nudge it. And, yeah, I can kind of nudge it and hopefully, literally knock it out of orbit. Oh god, this is the worst thing ever. This is the stupidest thing I've ever tried to do. I'm going to bump another ship out of orbit to save his life. Because I'm stupid and I blocked the hatch with the parachute. This is so stupid. I'm not even going to fire up the engines. Those things are going to just send us flying. What we want is to just come in nice and gentle. Just give him a little bump. A little bump. A little tappy. It would help if I had lights. Why did I not put lights on this thing? I would complain about who designed this, but I designed this. Like an idiot. Let's try to get a little closer. I honestly don't know if this would even work. Because it takes a lot. It's going to take a little bit more than a bump to deorbit this thing. We're looking at a full-on, like, smack into it and just the right angle or something. One meter per second. Let's try to get some, swing the bat. Alright, let's switch over to it and see if that helped. Where are we? No effect at all. And now it's just drifting away from us. I probably knocked it away from us. We're probably floating away from it. It doesn't look like we can get in for another movement. We can try to get in on it. And we can catch up to it, that's for sure. We have, like I said, plenty of RCS to do it. Although this might be the stupidest thing I've ever done in this game. What am I doing? We're gonna miss it. It's gonna go past us. Shit. We're just gonna miss it. Missed it. Alright, let's bring it back around. No, we're good. We're getting away from it. Damn it. Ugh, I should have put the laser system back on. I could have just used the tracker beam. I think it's safe to say we've lost Bill Kerman. Bob did his best. We tried to save him, but it's just not. It can't be done. We didn't. We can't say we didn't try. We've been trying here. We're here floating around, bumping into stuff with RCS. That would be why we missed it. We're lower than it now. Let's switch to it one more time. See if it changed at all. No, not in the slightest. Yeah, we've got nothing. The mission is a lost cause. I can... Sorry, guy. We tried. Let's just bring this guy home. I can demonstrate how the thing was supposed to work, at least. That'll be the end of this. Just simple deorbiting. That's about it. We have a deorbit situation going. I'm sorry, Bill. He's still in orbit. I can try to come back and get him again, but I can't really do anything. He can't get out of the ship. So until they come up with like a recovery arm for the shuttles or something, I can't. Nothing for me to do. Let's just speed this up, get it in the atmosphere. Show you how it was supposed to work. Alrighty, we want to be right side up. Although it doesn't really make a difference because of the way this thing works. Let's go ahead and retro rocket a little bit more. Retro fire. Mostly because I can. I mean, we have all that fuel. No sense in wasting it. So the more I slow this thing down, the faster it'll come down. Let's go ahead and waste up the fuel, and then I can demonstrate how my recovery craft was supposed to work. Supposed to. Obviously, it didn't work. Alrighty, let's go ahead and get into the lower atmosphere, where this thing will actually work properly. About where we want to be. Kind of right side up. Alrighty. We don't want to be burning with the speed all the way up like that. As soon as we get to about 10,000 out of the burn, we can go ahead and eject. And just like that. The two pieces separate on their own. They both have plenty of parachutes. And they both come home, while all the parts in the middle splash down as normal. So that's how it's supposed to work. But then if you watch, eventually this one will just disappear for some reason. I think once it gets about a kilometer away. Let's wait for it, see if it works. Let's see if they actually both come home this time, because that's the whole point of this thing. Although I turned the persistent debris up to like max. So in theory, that should be able to stay. Okay, there it is. Turn away from it. No, it's working this time. Alright, let's see if they both touch down. That's the tricky part. Getting one down is a simple matter. I can switch to either one and they'll land. The question is, will the one I'm not focused on land? Oh, that's why it was doing that, because it was SAS. Stupid. Alright, this one landed. And this one's coming in too. Hopefully. I don't see... okay, I see the other one still. So it looks like it worked. For once. Yeah, this is the way it's supposed to work, as intended. Where it has two separate landing craft within the one craft. With plenty of empty space, so I can go up to, say, a space station or something that's manned and bring them all home at once. Okay, everything looks like it worked as intended this time. Oh. X. Okay, yeah, they both worked. They're both good. That's amazing, they both worked. So it's too bad we couldn't get him, because he would have been fine. But I need to redesign the deployment craft, because I forgot that the parachute is in the way of the door. So I'll work on that, sort of, eventually. If I remember to. And that'll do it for today's episode. We have failed in retrieving Bill Kerman from space, but we still have Bob. And I don't know what happened to Jebediah. He probably died in one of the plane tests. But that'll do it for today's episode. My name is JP. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time with more Kerbal Space Program.